Hi there, it's Chris Hamilton here from Sales Tip a Day, and today I'm going to show you the LinkedIn digital referral process that I use that has great success. And first of all, I'm going to talk about some referral statistics. So 65% of all new business comes from referrals, which means 35% comes from other mechanisms or means, such as advertising or other ways. And interestingly enough, only 11% of salespeople will actually ever ask for a referral. And typical leads from referrals, typical leads close at 25 to 30%, yet referrals close at 50%. So that's almost double the rate. And customers that you acquire by referrals spend 2 times more and will give 2 times more referrals. So in essence, what they're doing is they're adding fuel to the fire for you. And they will keep adding more referrals into you so you can keep this as a perpetual sales machine for you, or sales prospecting machine for you. And last but not least, referrals generate 3 to 5 times higher conversion rates than any other channel that salespeople actually use. So if we were to flip this around and look at it a different way, 89% of salespeople don't ask for referrals, and typically they're going after only 35% of the sales. So the vast majority of salespeople are going after the smallest portion of sales that are the toughest to get. And also, they're not using a referral process that'll give them 2 times more clients and also 2 times more referrals with sales that'll close at twice the normal rates. So basically, if you don't have a referral process in place, then you're doing yourself a disservice and not getting anywhere near the amount of sales that you should. The flip side to this is the 11% of people that do actually ask for referrals are playing in that space where they're getting 65% of all sales. So, that number is staggering. I'd rather play in that pool than the big pool where everyone's slashing it out and probably having a discount price just to get a sale in the door. So I'm going to show you a secret that I use called the digital referral. And it's a simple 4-step process. So the first thing you do, you go into LinkedIn and you do a search on your ideal prospect. And I have a posts up that talk about the advanced search functionality on LinkedIn and how you can use it to hone in on your ideal prospects. I would highly recommend that you take a look for that on salestipaday.com or reach out to me and I can point you in the right direction. And in this case, I'm looking at Elias Tobias. And one of the things that you do is he came in through a search that I did. And what I noticed is that I have 25 shared connections with this guy. So what you do is when you click on that link right there, it'll pull up, say, 3 of those shared connections. Now, when you click down below that, it'll say view all 25. So I know that I have a second connection with him. So someone I know knows this person. So this is where they can put a referral in place for me. Now, the second step in here is obviously when you're finding these second connections, when you're finding someone and they have a second connection, you need to go find out a second connection that will introduce you to them. So I went through Elias's 25 connections, numerous people that I know in there, but the one that I pulled out is my buddy Eve Matson. And I thought, you know what, I'll just reach out to Eve and see if he can introduce me. So this, when you get into Eve's thing, you can hit message. And this goes into the third step, which is, I say dumb it down and send an email. And I'll show you a sample email in a second here. But one of the things LinkedIn does is when you click on somebody's profile, you can have a get introduced to this person. You can do that if you want, and you can send an email out to people that way. The only problem is if you're using a free account, you don't get many introductions, and if you actually have a paid for account, you don't get many introductions. So you can blow through them quite quickly if you're using this process. And this is the way I'm doing it, or the way I'm showing you is the way that I normally do this, so that I don't have to worry about using up all my introductions to people. So you don't have to necessarily use the LinkedIn referrals process that they have mapped out. Now, in this case, what I do is I dumb it right down for a guy like Eve and say, like, Eve, I hope all's well. I hope you can help me out. I'm working with this type of company. I see on LinkedIn you're connected to this person from this company. the product or service that I am selling helps companies like whatever person's company by providing, and then I put a benefit in. And then what you do is you look at it and you say, do you know him well enough to introduce me? If it's a girl, obviously, do you know her well enough to introduce me? If so, here's something you can use. And then I do, here's the subject line, introduction to Chris Hamilton. And then I put the email body for this person. And usually where it says like, hello, I'll put the person's name in that I'm trying to connect. A friend of mine reached out to me to see if I could introduce the two of you. His name is Chris Hamilton. I've known him for a while. He's working with a company called whatever my company is, and they have a product or a service. Typically, it does a couple of benefits that I put in for him, reduce costs, saves time, adds more profit, whatever it is. He was hoping to get introduced to you, and I wanted to check with you first before connecting the two of you. Chris can forward a brochure, a handout, or some sort of thing that he might find of interest for you to review, and you can see more at, and then what you do is you put your company website in. And then I put regards, and in this case I would put Eve at the very end here so that it would be that way. Now, the other thing I do is I offer a referral fee for some of the products that I sell. So I said, let me know if you don't mind doing this. I can tell you more about this product or service if you'd like. We also talk is we offer a referral fee for any introductions that turn into sales. I pay 10% of the first year's license or whatever you have. And that way, you know what, you create this, send it to them, personalize it a bit if you feel like it. And that way you're basically removing anything that Eve has to do. She just has to copy and paste and send this out to people to get you introduced. And then what I do is I go into the last step, which is tracking. So I use a Google Doc to track a lot of the stuff that I do. So typically it's going to be, I find the person, I find the company. This page that I pulled this from is from a specific group. So I actually go through and go into different groups on LinkedIn to find specific types of people. And then what I do is I say, did I send them something directly, or if not, did I ask someone to introduce me? And then the other thing too, if you look in column H, I put connections. So I put multiple connections in there just in case. And then anything that's a backup on this thing, I'll put some notes in. And then when I first sent a message, if I send a second message, third message, fourth message, whatever, the spreadsheet keeps going out from there. So here's a couple of extra tips. So first thing is, find connections, or find more than one connection, since not everyone's going to refer you. In this case, typically I'm getting about 40, 50, 60% of people will actually refer me into someone else if I set it up and use this process this way. And then last but not least is devote like 20 minutes to an hour a day finding new prospects and sending out emails. What I do is typically kind of on Fridays or Mondays or on the weekend, I'll go through and I'll find 3 to 5 people a day. So, if it's anywhere between kind of 15 and 25 people. And that takes a bit of time. So that's kind of where, upwards of an hour. But then kind of every morning, then I send out 3 to 5 emails trying to prospect. And then, last but not least is, as I say, is not everyone's going to refer you. So give it a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, see when you first sent out the first email or blast or email request out to somebody. And you can either go back to them and say, hey, look, I sent you something about 3-4 weeks ago, trying to get introduced to this person. Can you, potentially introduce me? Or what you do is go find the next person that you're connected to that will introduce you into them. So I hope that's helpful. I'm putting on a regularly scheduled LinkedIn social selling seminar where you'll learn a lot of stuff like this, and way more actually. And you can register at bit.ly/LinkedIn social selling. And once again, that's bit.ly/LinkedIn social selling, all one word. And you'll get registered. There's a registration page where you go. And just so you guys don't think I'm yanking your chain on anything, here's where I got some of the statistics that I showed up front. So you can go to 22touch.com or engageselling.com or referralcandy.com and find information on referrals. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and would love to see you at our next social selling seminar, bit.ly/LinkedIn social selling.